Yes, welcome to the venue that will host more games at the World Cup than any other stadium, and the home of the world's most valuable sports team, the Dallas Cowboys, for the greatest football show on earth. Japan versus Sweden. Victory for Sweden would take them into the top two in this group, because finishing third isn't that much of an appetizer, given that they're probably going to play France. That said, even if you finish top, you could be playing Morocco, Perry Groves. So it's a tough round of 32, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, I don't think either group of set of players will be thinking about who they're going to play in the round of 32. They've just got to play this game that's in front of them, control the controllables, which is obviously this game, as said before. You see the referee Ivan Barton there, just standing with these other officials, hopefully that they don't get too involved in the game, because I think by and large, to be fair, I think refereeing's been pretty good in this World Cup. You know, they've tried to let the game flow, you know, not giving too many yellow cards early, so it doesn't put themselves under pressure. So you're looking at Japan, who'd like to play like a really free-flowing, possession-based pass and move game. So they'll be looking to dominate possession and be whether if Sweden can disrupt it.
The two teams show three changes from match day 2. In Japan's case, it was the 4-0 win over Tunisia. Tomiyasu, Sano and Junya Ito drop to the bench. Those coming in are Ayumu Seko on the right-hand side of the three-man defence, Yukinari Sugawara as the right wing-back, and Dyson Maeda, the Celtic player, part of that three-pronged Japan attack. So they have Suzuki in goal, Seko, Itakura and Hiroki Ito as the three at the back. Then it's Sugawara, Kamada, Tanaka and Nakamura in the midfield. Doan and Maeda supporting Ueda up front. As for Sweden, their three changes. Nordfeldt, the goalkeeper, has dropped out after that 5-1 hammering by the Netherlands. Karlström and Nygren also moved to the bench. Jakob Zetterström of Derby County is the Sweden goalkeeper. Elliot Stroud, who was born to an English father, will play in midfield for Sweden, and Anthony Elanga of Newcastle United will play behind Gyökeres and Isak. So it's Zetterström in goal, Lagerbielke, Hayne and Lindelof, the three in defence. Bernhardsson, Stroud, Ayari and Gudmundsson, the four across the middle, and then Elanga behind Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak of Liverpool. The countdown is about to begin inside the Dallas Stadium. 70,000 capacity for the FIFA World Cup, although when the Dallas Cowboys play here, they utilise the whole 90,000. This is the second biggest stadium of the World Cup. The biggest one is the one that's going to host the final in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's going to be Sweden who'll get this game underway in their traditional yellow and blue. And they will attack the goal away to the left in this first half against a Japan team in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. And the ball already down this left side outside the Japan penalty area with Elliot Stroud, who tries to turn his way around and get to the dead ball line, and inside the first 30 seconds wins a corner for Sweden.
Yeah, really good start from Sweden from kick-off, just launching it forward in that left-hand channel. Stroud did really well, just trying to go on the outside of Nakamura. Just got to the byline. Nakamura got his challenging corner for Sweden on the left-hand side.
Elliot Stroud making his fourth appearance for his country. Didn't actually appear in qualifying at all. The 24-year-old who plays his football in Sweden for Mjällby. He's won the corner, which will be taken from this near side, the Sweden left, but it'll be an in-swinger with the right boot. They're all packed in inside the 6-yard area, and then suddenly one or two break as Ayari sends it in. It's punched away by Zion Suzuki. The Japan goalkeeper on the right side, Anthony Elanga, attempts a cross, which is blocked and goes out of play of Ritsu Doan for another corner.
Yeah, it was really good delivery from Ayari. In swing with his right foot, putting Suzuki under pressure. The goalkeeper did really well. He had Gyökeres just hovering around him, trying to be the nuisance. It was a really good sort of right punch from Suzuki, but another corner for Sweden on their right hand side.
Two corners inside the first 2 minutes of this game, and again the majority of the players are packed out inside the 6-yard area, all trying to obstruct the view of goalkeeper Suzuki as it's driven in low from the far side of the field, cleared away quite comfortably by Japan up to Stroud on the halfway line, and he opts to send it all the way back to Jakob Zetterström, who, like Stroud, is making his 4th appearance for his country. Christopher Nordfeldt played in the first 2 games, but of course he was on the wrong end of that 5-1 defeat by the Netherlands on match day 2. And Graham Potter felt it necessary to make a change in goal in addition to the 2 outfield, and so Zetterström gets the nod, and it's Sweden who have possession of the ball down the far side of the field, just inside the Japan half, and again it's blocked off and goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, we wondered who's going to be in midfield for Sweden. Lindelof has gone into that midfield area alongside Ayari, and Stroud is natural sort of left back, so we play in the left wing back position.
Goalkeeper Zetterström put under pressure there as soon as the ball was played back to him, and he's cleared into touch on the far side for a throw-in to Japan, who drew against the Netherlands on match day 1. It was a terrific game, as Ollie Klink was pointing out earlier, and then they completely brushed aside Tunisia in the second game, and already they find themselves a goal down to the group leaders, the Netherlands, in the other match. Of course, the last 2 games in the groups all kick off at the same time, so Tunisia 0, Netherlands 1, Japan 0, Sweden 0 here in Dallas, as Japan send it forward to the edge of the Sweden area, away to our right. There's an own goal, by the way. Shqiri scored the own goal that gives Netherlands the lead inside 3 minutes in that game. It's been a woeful World Cup for Tunisia.
Yeah, they're just far too easy to play against, conceding goals all over the place. Not a great start from obviously against the Netherlands, and just takes the pressure off the Netherlands players where they can just relax a little bit more.
Netherlands, Japan or Sweden could win the group. Sweden would have to beat Japan and hope that the Netherlands fail to beat Tunisia for them to top the group. Japan just have to better the Netherlands' results. So if they were both to win, Japan have to score more goals, because it's going to come down to goal difference, because the 2 of them drew 2-2. And as it stands, the Netherlands have 7 points to Japan's 5 and Sweden 4. But even with 4 points, Sweden would go through as one of the best third-place teams. And they send a long ball downfield to the edge of the area, which is brought down by Elanga on the near side. Stroud back into Elanga. We're a few yards in from the touchline on the Sweden left. That's the near side as we look, but Japan do a good job of closing down the spaces and force them back down the line. Ayari, loose pass by Yasin Ayari, allows Japan to come away, but there needs to be some support. Great running by Maeda down the right side into the area. There was contact with Gabriel Gudmundsson, but the referee was well placed, and despite the boos of the Japan fans, it's no penalty.
Yeah, it comes from Ayari. He's just really sloppy in possession. Gives it to Maeda. Really good run down that inside right position. Gudmundsson comes over. He's playing on that left side of the the centre halves, and anywhere on the pitch, anywhere else, Mike, that's a foul.
Chance here for Sweden, edge of the area, a left-footed shot which is driven in by Alexander Bernhardsson, but it lacked power and it lacked any real angle to trouble Suzuki.
Yeah, simple save from Suzuki down to his right hand side, so there from Bernhardsson, just getting onto his left foot, didn't get the right purchase and get push his foot through the ball. Simple save.
Almost 6 minutes played on Talk Sport in Dallas for Japan versus Sweden. Final match for these two teams in Group F, looking to qualify for the round of 32. And we're fairly certain we know who they're going to face if they do get through. First we'll play Morocco, second Brazil, third France. Take your pick.
Well, as you see there, just want to get through to that round of 32 first, Mike. So, have you ever thought of doing the 1% club as well? Like all these different situations we've got going on. He was on fire.
I don't like to go too deep on the permutations, but certainly it'll come into play towards the end of the game, and I can tell you that Netherlands are already 2-0 up now against Tunisia. They haven't even played 7 minutes as Japan try and attack through Doan, crossing in from the right. Ball is headed back to the captain, Itakura.
As you see there from Japan's point of view, Tanaka just dropping a little bit deeper, just trying to get the passing moves going. Just playing like the quarterback position. Kamada just playing just a little bit in front of him. But the game, 7 minutes old, hasn't really got a flow about it, to be fair. Neither team have been able to get control.
7 minutes played here, and it remains Japan 0, Sweden 0. Sweden must win the game to go above Japan into the top 2. And it's their goalkeeper Jakob Zetterström who sends it high into the Japan half, down this near side, the left. Incidentally, there's a VAR check for that second goal for the Netherlands, and he's standing. So 2-0 to Netherlands, and they've played 7.5 minutes in that game. I bet Tunisia just want to get on the plane and go home.
Yeah, I think they've. If it was a boxing match, I think the Tunisian manager would actually throw the towel in. So basically, these two teams, Japan and Sweden, are fighting out for that second place, because the Netherlands are going to go on and score even more goals.
Free kick in this game. It's a foul by Gudmundsson. So Japan will have this set piece, but it's too far from goal, and they work it out to the far side, the Japan left. Talk Sport bringing you live commentary from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Every game on the network. We've got more to come overnight, 3 a.m. 2 games in Group D, Paraguay, Australia, Turkey, USA. But our concentration is on Group F, Japan, Sweden. And we'll keep you abreast of what's happening between Tunisia and the Netherlands, where Brian Brobby got the second goal. That's a ball over the top by Japan, hooked away by Gudmundsson. Midway inside the Sweden half, but they're struggling to clear their lines properly. And back come Japan again on this near side with Doan. Good work by Gudmundsson, and away comes Gyökeres. Feeds it to Elanga, who goes across the halfway line, skips the challenge, or at least tries to, but he's caught as he goes up into the air, and Sweden win the free kick on the edge of the centre circle inside the Japan half.
Yeah, good play from Elanga, just picking the ball up in the centre circle. To be fair, Tanaka just comes across. Ivan Barton, the referee, as I said, they've been quite lenient with Charmo, as long as he carries on in that vein, because at any other game, any other time, that would be a yellow card.
Free kick has been taken. Sweden take it back to the halfway line and work it over to Gudmundsson. But as you can see, Japan are pressing. As soon as Sweden get the ball in any position, they're already on top of them. They've forced them back on several occasions already. Ball lofted forward, up towards Gyökeres, who lays it to Isak just outside the D, back into centre field. The ball was intended to find Stroud, it didn't get there, and Tanaka is tenacious in winning it back for Japan, and they work it out to the far side, their left. 10 minutes played. Japan 0, Sweden 0. As it stands, Sweden will be the top placed team of the third places, if that makes sense. They'd go above Bosnia and Ecuador. Maeda on the run, but out comes Zetterström to claim it, the Sweden goalkeeper.
So what you're saying is they're top of that 8-team table of the 8 teams that are going to qualify as the best third place teams in their groups.
Yes, is that clear?
That is clear as mud.
Well, Scotland fans are going to be watching that table intently for the next 48 hours or so, because their fate is dependent on all these other teams, and Ecuador's win over Germany hasn't helped them at all. Shock win, a brilliant win by Ecuador, coming from behind to beat Germany in their final group game, which means they will qualify for the round of 32, and they're likely, assuming England win their group, to play England.
As long as they can negate that low block from Panama, which is going to happen. But again, you've just got the destiny in your own hands. I think exactly where England want to be.
Another long ball forward by Sweden, which is dealt with or repelled by Japan, who come away with it down the far side. On the halfway line, have to just hold up play momentarily and check to see who else is in attendance. And that's played into the centre circle for Tanaka. It's quite patient stuff from Japan. We know that they can suddenly spring into gear.
Yeah, you see there, Tanaka just drop a little bit deeper. Kamada just playing maybe 10, 15 yards in front of him. There's just not enough movement from Japan in the forward. I was looking at Ueda there, it's just very central.
That's a decent ball though, to the left-hand angle of the penalty area, which is collected by Daichi Kamada. Then it's swung in, right-footed to the back post. A little bit too deep in the end for Yukinari Sugawara, but he was unmarked at the back post.
Yeah, it was one wing back, Nakamura on the left-hand side, just cutting in with his right foot, trying to find Sugawara, just coming in as a right wing back, but just overhit just a tad, just runs out of play. Zetterström not troubled in Sweden's goal, just goes for a goal kick. And just looking at Sweden, they haven't really tried to play out from the back. Even there, straight away, Zetterström's first thought was, right, get it down as a goal kick, we'll smash it into Gyökeres and see if we can win the knockdowns.
Which is what they've done just then. Gyökeres down to the feet of Alexander Isak on the near side. Wants to take the throw in quickly, then decides he'll leave it for a teammate. It's in line with the edge of the Japan penalty area away to the left. The score is 0-0. We've had 13 minutes play in Dallas. Gabriel Goodmanson has actually asked the cameraman to move out of his way so he can take a long throw. He launches it into the Japan penalty area, headed out by a defender and then chased back, and that's a high ball, which is a tricky one for Zetterström, though he's come a long way out of his goal to get there, and then on the half volley thumps it into the Japan half and they head it into touch.
Again, there's no hesitation from Zetterström as he got the ball back from Strub, just made sure that on the volley just smashed it straight down into that right hand channel just to get his team further up the pitch. So you've got a sort of a contrasting styles. Normally a Graham Potter side, Plisset, Brighton, and he went to Chelsea, West Ham, like to play easy on the eye football. But you can tell that he knew, you said there, Mike, in commentary, playing for this like 14 minutes, that Japan like to close down from the front, set off by Ueda, Doan and Maeda. They basically go 3v3 against the three Swedish centre halves. So he's just told Zetterström, just get it forward, don't try and play out the back in this first sort of 20 minutes, make sure we just get a foothold in the game.
Japan have chance here though. They come forward down the right side. Doan just outside the area attempts a left-footed shot which ricochets up into the air and goes out to the far side where it's collected by Maeda. Many people feel that he won't be a Celtic player next season, still undecided as to whether he'll stay in Glasgow. A really good end to the season did Maeda as Celtic won 2 trophies. That incredible result against Hearts won them the title as Elanga goes down on the halfway line and Sweden win a free kick. It hasn't really got going, this game, at all. It's I wouldn't say pedestrian, but there's not a lot to report.
No, it's just a little bit bitty at the moment, isn't it? There's no flow to it whatsoever. So you can tell that Sweden are playing percentage football at the moment. Obviously don't want to make too many mistakes playing out from the back. Japan, when they've got themselves on the ball, they look to play forward very quickly, especially Tanaka in that centre midfield area. He's very good at piercing it through Sweden's midfield, but he hasn't been able to get it into Ueda at all.
Japan have it, and they're being afforded the time and space to work the ball around inside their own half. Sweden not attempting to necessarily close them down. Now they will through Elanga and Isak. They're being forced back towards the edge of their own penalty area in the end. They have to bring Suzuki into play. With his left foot, he carefully guides it out to the far side of Japan left. 16 minutes on the clock. It remains goalless. Doan works into the far side of the field. Japan making yardage. It's the right way to say that in a stadium like this, which is used predominantly for American football, NFL, the Dallas Cowboys. 35 yards from goal now. Pushed out to the right side. Sugawara with the cross in. Too close to Zetterström. Too much of a floating cross, really, giving the goalkeeper plenty of time to get there. Sweden then lose the ball coming out of defence, only for Tanaka to be penalised for the foul.
Yeah, Tanaka just trying to close down Ayari. Ayari did really well, just made sure he just put it to the right hand side, but as soon as he was on the floor you could tell he actually said to Zetterström, calm down. Basically, I didn't want it there. I think there was too many players around me. He's managed to get his team a free kick, but he said there Japan worked it really well. Suzuki into Nakamura on the left hand side, then he just switched play to Sugawara on the right hand side, and he should be whipping the ball along the 6-yard box, use like a little 9-iron instead of maybe a 5-iron where he should be driving it. So it was an easy save for Zetterström, just like picking apples off a tree.
Earlier this evening, Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 2. It means that the Ivorians finished second in Group E behind Germany, who had already won the group but lost their final game. A shock win, a famous win for Ecuador by 2-1, meaning that Ecuador will be through as one of the best third place finishers, and they could well face England in the round of 32. To come later on this evening, or in the early hours of the morning, should I say now, Paraguay, Australia and Turkey, USA from Group D. Cameron Pope and Alvin Martin covering the Paraguay game, Ian Danta and Luke Chambers looking after Turkey, USA. One on TalkSport, the other on TalkSport 2, and on TalkSport 2 at the moment it's Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. 2 goals inside the first 7 minutes by the group leaders, who are compounding Tunisia's awful tournament. Japan have it in Dallas. We're watching on. In midfield it's with Kamada, floats the ball up, well watched by Stroud to head it away. He got Sugawara for company, coming around the outside of him, and in the end Sweden win the throw-in on the near side. It remains 0-0. Perry Groves is alongside me.
Yeah, neither game have sort of managed to get control. Japan have probably just edged the possession. So contrasting style, Sweden going into Gyökeres very early, but every time it comes into him, whether it's Itakura or Seko or Ito, they made sure they engage him, so he has got that chance to get the ball under control.
Japan dealing with Sweden inside their own half, and it's on the touchline here, and they're working in small spaces. Close passes, Sweden can't keep possession, they're giving it back to Japan, and there's space on the far side. Coming forward is Nakamura into the penalty area, but again Japan have got themselves into some good positions, but not, the final ball has been very disappointing.
Yeah, it was there from Nakamura, just coming in from that left hand side. Ueda's made a good run from the edge of the D, just diagonally into that inside left position, just overhit from Nakamura. This easily goes through to Zetterström, but every time Sweden get it, they've given it away. The last 5-6 minutes, every time in midfield that they've given possession away.
Sweden have it down the far side with Elanga. They've sprung forward quickly of the Swedes, just outside the penalty area on the right. It goes back down the line, and then they'll build again from Lagerbielke into Victor Lindelof. Hain, his central defensive partner. Lindelof then looks out to the far side of the field, finds Bernhardsson. Japan very, very compact. Gyökeres over the top, but it's too strong for Isak, and that's a tribute to the way Japan played there. They just boxed them in and didn't really give them any room at all.
Yeah, it's good communication between the three centre-halves, Seko, Itakura and Ito. So the distance between them were very good. They get protected by the two midfield players in front of them. See Sweden just trying to put the high press on, but again it's a really good ball from Suzuki. The Japanese goalkeeper pings it into Ueda. Good hold up play from Ueda.
Japan come forward down the far side of the field. It's with Hiroki Ido, and the header comes in from Maeda, but he was running backwards to then try and divert the ball forwards, and it's always quite a difficult technique to do. You also lose a bit of power on the header.
Yeah, Lagerbielke knew that. So say Maeda just coming back a couple of yards, couldn't quite redirect it, so Lagabioka just let him header it basically over the crossbar. But Japan worked it really well. So been really impressed. You know, you see like players that you're not really aware of that much. Suzuki in goal for Japan. You know, he's come well twice for corners. His distribution has been excellent, where he just pings it about waist height. If you can get it into Maeda or into Ueda as well.
A really good qualifying campaign did Zion Suzuki, the Japan goalkeeper. 8 clean sheets in World Cup qualifying across the 2 rounds.
Well, he was real revved up for it then.
And I was waiting, a few moments ago when I mentioned his name, I was wondering to myself, when will Terry Groves come up with something in relation to the Suzuki name? I'll set them up for you.
And I'll do the dad jokes.
Yeah, okay. I'll pull the clutch in and you change gear.
I'll just accelerate away.
6'3" tall, born in America actually, born in Newark, New Jersey, which is the venue or close to the venue for the final of the World Cup. Plays his football domestically in Italy for Parma. At the moment the ball is on the halfway line, 22 and a half minutes played. We're almost at the halfway point, we're almost at the hydration break in a very hot and sticky Dallas. No thoughts of there being any storm concerns. It's very dry in Texas, but it's hot and it remains 0-0. That might be partly due to the fact that these two teams aren't playing at a particularly frantic pace, because you've got to pace yourselves.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit cagey at the moment, you know, just trying to sort of suss each other out. You wouldn't see that either team was playing at full throttle. If there's one game that probably you don't need rehydration break, it'll probably be this one, because they haven't got into second gear yet.
There are 2 in there.
That's right. No,
shall I just tick them off?
We're done.
No, I think we're done with those. Forward it goes. Headed on by Gyökeres. Isak won't get there. Suzuki calmly, left-footed, guides it down the far side into touch. And I think this is when we're going to have our hydration break. Perfect time. The beads of sweat rolling down the forehead of referee Ivan Barton, the El Salvadorian referee. The boos ring round, but I have to say, it is hot. It's about 33 degrees centigrade. I think they're quite within their rights to have a hydration break when it's like this.
Yeah, well, just say the pace of the game probably equates to, you said there, the humidity and the heat that the players are playing in, because it hasn't been, you know, the high tempo we've seen some of the games, and neither goalkeeper's really been troubled. I think Bernardsson's had the only shot on target for Sweden, where it was straight at Suzuki, low down to his sort of right hand side. So at the moment, obviously with the Netherlands being 2-0 against Tunisia, this game suits Japan because they'll end up being in second place.
7 points for the Netherlands, 2-0 they lead at the midway point of the first half against Tunisia. Japan currently on 5 points, Sweden on 4, and as it stands they top the group for the third place teams, so they'll be through to the round of 32 with a draw. The ice packs are out, they're being put around the back, the necks of the Japan players, keep them cool. Plenty of water being taken on board, fans in the crowd, 2 lots of fans, the fans and the fans, if you know what I mean, trying to keep themselves cool in these conditions. Japan have already played in this stadium. They played Netherlands in this stadium in their opening game, so they know the conditions. Well prepared for it, but even for them it's hot. Despite that, there are fans in the crowd dancing around, jumping around. The Stetsons are out. The Swedes are wearing the Stetsons, Perry.
Got to get in. Stetsons in Texas. It's got to be done. Just looking at both teams, obviously Graham Potter would have said to his Swedish side, which you can tell the way they've started this first 22 and a half minutes, that he wanted to play low risk football. You know, he didn't want them to take any chances, plan out from the back, making sure that, you know, they stay in the game. I mentioned before they had no clean sheets in the last 13 games. So they just look a little bit better structured defensively. Obviously Lindelof playing in that midfield area, Goodmanson playing on the left side of the free centre half, because after if you've been, shipped 5 goals, that's the first thing you need to address, is not to concede. So I think out of the two managers, Graham Potter would probably, be the most pleased just seeing Hajime Moriyasu, the Japanese manager, probably saying to his Japanese players that they need to be a little bit better in possession. They have a possession-based game, but a couple of times it's gone into Ueda and it's broken down, so they haven't been able to get in the flow of the game.
Credit to the two coaches, Graham Potter and Hajime Moriyasu. They're both wearing full suits
and with their top buttons done.
Oh my word, I'm hot just looking at them. 0-0 the scoreline then, as we resume in the 27th minute in Dallas. Netherlands still leading Tunisia by 2-0 in the other group game, and it's Netherlands who at the moment are going through as group winners. Ball is played back to Zetterstrom, right-footed, sweeps it high into the Japan half, away to the left, headed back by Itakura, and then there's a foul, is there? Yes, the referee was just waiting to see if there was an advantage. Foul by a Japan player inside the centre circle, so it'll be a Sweden free kick. Perry.
Yeah, when you want players to take responsibility, obviously Zetterstrom's gone long again into Gyökeres. Itakura, who's obviously the Japanese captain, he's the one who's actually saying, right, I'll go and challenge him, I'll go and make sure I get the first contact, and then Ito on the left and Seko on the right, and you can just cover round me. So it's just a good example there of a captain actually taking that responsibility.
The ball is inside the Japan half with Sweden down the far side with Elanga, gets away from one man, plays it to the byline. Gyökeres won't get there, and it goes out of play for a goal kick to Japan, which Zion Suzuki will take.
You mentioned about the lack of quality of both teams in the final third. That was just highlighted there with Elanga. It's a simple ball. Gyökeres makes the first run, then Ayari thinks, right, yeah, I'll get in behind and go in that right-hand channel. All Elanga's got to do is just roll it 15 yards into Ayari's path, and he actually just basically side foots it far too firmly and he just goes straight out of play.
It's gone out of play now for a Japan throw-in right on the halfway line. Van Barton might well actually given a free kick for a very high foot by Elliot Stroud on Sugawara. In fact, that's not much different to the high foot in the Ivory Coast game.
Yeah, the first goal.
The Germany game, sorry, should I say, against Ecuador. When Germany scored, there was what looked like a fairly clear high foot, but the officials decided that the goal should stand. But in the end, Ecuador didn't affect them. They came back to win the game against the Germans. 2-1, famous victory for them, which puts them through to the round of 32. The other game finished Curacao 0, Ivory Coast 2. Ivory Coast finishing second in Group E. Curacao are heading home. Sweden have it, near side as we look. It's plodding along, this game, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, just looking at Sweden as there, when it comes in from Bernardsson and then out to Gudmundsson just puts it into Isak, and Isak just has his pocket picked easy by Tanaka, where he's got to make sure that he gets himself side on.
Long ball straight down the middle, which Ueda is after, but was being kept at bay by the Swedish defence, in particular Isak Hain, sandwiched between two Sweden defenders. Now Stroud down the near side, the left for the team in yellow and blue, cleared away again, got there before Isak. Good defending from Japan.
Yeah, you can say that the three centre halves, Seko, Itakura and Ito, their distances are really good. So when it just went down into that right hand channel, Seko come across, just negated the run of Isak, and then Itakura makes sure that he then gets across. Ito comes across as well, and then Nakamura, who's the left wing back, he makes sure he tucks in on that left hand side of the 18-yard box.
Long ball, again another long ball from Sweden down the far side. Gyökeres holding it up, does as well as he can do. but he was under a lot of pressure. Sweden have it back again on the far side, just outside the area. Not much room to move in because Japan are straight on their heels. Even Dyson Maeder is back there helping out his defenders. There's a gap though now that Sweden have tried to exploit down the far side, only for Japan to win it back and work it forward themselves. And Ueda skips away from Hein, who was pulling at his shirt, and the referee has obliged Japan with a free kick and the first yellow card of the game to match the shirt of Isaac Hein.
Well, that was Hein legs of a donkey, because Ueda did really well. Just made sure that as the ball came into him, he took it on the outside with his right foot. Hein just gets a little bit too close. Ueda looks like he's away from him. Again, you know, people don't like to hear it, but that is a professional foul. That's taking one for the team, because Hein knew that Ueda was away from him. So quite rightly, the referee, Ivan Barton, gets out his second yellow card. Hein goes into the book.
Japan with 14 or 13 minutes of the first half remaining, at 0-0 with Sweden in Group F. The final game for these two. In the other match, Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2 still. Similar time in the game as well, just a few seconds behind this one. Clearly, after all the shenanigans we had, if you're old enough to remember the 1982 World Cup, Germany, Austria, Algeria, after that, FIFA decided that all the final group games will be played at the same time.
Was that when Germany beat Austria 1-0 and then Austria knew that they were going to go through anyway?
The result got Germany and Austria through and knocked out Algeria, who were absolutely furious at the time. But FIFA changed things and made sure there was some continuity and fairness about the final games.
We just look at Sweden, you can tell the way that they've worked Graham Potter out of position. Basically they did go back into a flat back five, so it's a 5-3-2, make sure they stay very compact. Obviously with Gyökeres and Isaac up front, Langer drops back into the midfield three.
Isaac has gone down. The referee has just stopped play. He says a throw-in to Japan. Sweden, I think, were looking for a free kick. Worth pointing out that Sweden's qualifying campaign for the World Cup was pretty atrocious.
Wasn't that good?
Not at all. They got 2 draws from their 6 games. They finished bottom of a group that contained Switzerland, Kosovo and Slovenia. The only 2 points were home and away against Slovenia, but they qualified for the playoffs because they'd finished top of their group in the UEFA Nations League, and they went on to win the playoffs. They beat Ukraine and then they beat Poland in a dramatic final. Japan into the Sweden penalty area. Suddenly, for the first time in a long time, the noise increases inside the Dallas Stadium, but it's momentary because Sweden come away with it. Are they going to win a free kick? They are. It's Tanaka who's made the foul, and Sweden have a player down inside the area. It looks like it's Hein, and he doesn't seem particularly comfortable. Zetterström looks a bit concerned and is waving on. And now via the referee, they've decided to get the support on very quickly. I don't know whether he's been winded. It looks like he might be winded.
Yeah. So it was really good play down the right hand side from Japan. Sugawara just getting the cross in. Hein making sure that he gets across that near post. To be fair, I think he might have just overstretched, and it looks like it's either his groin or his hamstring, because it's his left leg that's a long away from his body. So he looks in a little bit of pain. The referee's actually saying to the medical staff, the Swedish medical staff, get him off the pitch.
He's not moving, he's flat out on his back. It did look like he was winded at first.
I think he's done his left hamstring. That's what it looks like.
He did stretch for that ball.
And you know when a player is actually hurt, they don't move. They stay prone. When the player rolls around and smashes his fist onto the ground and rolls, you know they're not hurt. So that doesn't look good for Hein and for Sweden at the minute, because defensively they look pretty solid. And say he's limping off. supported by two of the Swedish medical staff. There's no way that he's carrying on.
And it might be that his World Cup is over, even if Sweden do get through to the round of 32. We all know how problematic hamstring injuries can be, even the lighter ones. So Sweden are going to need to make a change. Ivan Barton, I think they want to make the change, but Ivan Barton wants to get going again. Lucas Bergvall of Tottenham is the player who's going to come on.
So Lindelof will probably go back into the back three and Bergvall will come into midfield.
Lucas Bergvall, they want to get him on, but at the moment Sweden down to 10, although they do attack away to our left, edge of the area. Isak tries to lay it to Stroud, who's going to run out of play. Now they get the chance to get Bergvall on for Hein.
I just mentioned that lack of colic in the final third. Gyökeres does really well for Sweden. He wins the first contact, flicks it on to Isak. Isak brings it down. Great first touch with the top of his right foot, and all he's got to do is just roll it out to Stroud on that left-hand side, and he's just hit it straight out of play. It's such a simple pass for a player of that quality. That must be, as a manager, that's probably one of the most frustrating things.
So you have to feel for Hein, who's really struggling to walk. He's gone down again. He might need to be stretchered off here. It seems like it's quite a serious hamstring problem. Lucas Bergvall is on. Earlier in the tournament, he became Sweden's youngest ever player to feature at a World Cup by just 2 days from Jesper Blomqvist. Broke the record. And his shock of blonde hair is now moving around that midfield of Sweden. We come forward. Nice touch down that far side by Bernhardsson. But again, it's good defensive work from Eo Tanaka. He's caught late. Japan get a free kick. All gets a bit lively with 7 minutes of the first half remaining. It's Japan 0, Sweden 0.
Yeah, when Bernhardsson just broke down that right-hand side, he just tried to be too precise. When he gets it, just get it out your right foot, whip it across the 6-yard box. Tanaka did brilliantly, because that's what you have to do. Obviously, he wants to be the conductor and go and get the ball, but then you have to make sure you think about the what-ifs defensively, exactly what he did just to win the ball.
Well, this is interesting. The Japan captain, Ko Itakura, is now coming off. I don't know whether he's injured. It seems, I'd be surprised if it's tactical, taking your captain. So both number 4s for each team have gone off at roughly the same time, and Itakura's replacement is Shogo Taniguchi, the very experienced centre-back, 34 years of age. Made his debut 8.5 years ago, so he's slotted into central defence. The man who plays his football in Belgium. And Itakura's gone off. He didn't look like he was injured.
That was a very strange one, because I said Itakura was taking responsibility and making sure that he was challenging Gyökeres every time Sweden hit it long. And when he jogged off, didn't he? Just jogged off quite, well, seemed like quite happily. If it was me and I wasn't injured, I'd be absolutely fuming.
He may not be feeling well. It could be that. It is hot out there. So change of pace as Japan come forward on this near side. Back by Sugawara to find Seko.
Yeah, just looking at Sweden, Lindelof, the Swedish captain, has just gone straight in for Hein in the centre of the 3 centre-backs.
Central area, Sugawara with a long-range shot, drilled across the floor, straight at Zederström, but it's Japan's best chance of the half.
It's their first shot on target from fully 25 yards. Sugawara just thought, I've got no other options in front of me, so I'll get the shot away. Simple save for Zederström, just like the long barrier when you're playing cricket, wasn't it, on the just out on the ropes.
5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at the end of the first half. Japan 0, Sweden 0. It remains Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2 in the other Group F game. Netherlands topping the group at the moment. But Japan, if they can get in front, will be pushing them for a top spot, although Doan's advancement has been brought to a halt by Ivan Barton, the referee, to the disapproval of the Japan fans.
Yeah, I think Doan just went too early. Obviously he went shoulder to shoulder with Gudmundsson. Doan just trying to get in that inside right channel. And what he's got to do, it's no problem to change. He's got to make sure that the ball's within sort of half a yard of him. What happened was the ball was like 5 yards away. Then he put his shoulder into Williamson. Quite rightly, Ivan Barton, the referee, gave the quick free kick.
The ball is in centre midfield for Japan. Lots of space for Daichi Kamada to exploit. Forward it goes to Maeda. Out to this near side. Sugawara. Playing the ball around. Short passes. Not really going anywhere, Japan, but they're keeping possession. That's the important thing. And they sweep a nice ball out to the left side. Picked up by Nakamura. He'll take on Bernardsson. He's got Bergvall for company as well. Japan still attacking. Sweden want an offside flag as Tanaka runs around the outside. Thwarted by the Swedes in the end. Alanga is rather furious that he's been brought down and that the referee has not responded with a card. He has got the free kick.
Yeah, Alanga just doing his defensive duties for his Swedish side on that right hand side. Yeah, it's just a little coming together. Just a foul. Not every foul is a yellow card. We talked about the lack of quality for both teams in the final third. Both teams had one shot on target. Swedish shot on target is from their right wing back Bernardsson, and Japan's shot on target is from their right wing back Sugawara.
And neither of them were particularly troublesome for the goalkeepers.
No, they're P-rollers basically.
So we haven't had a chance, a notable chance, a real goal threat in the opening 42 minutes. It's a tad disappointing. We were expecting something a bit more from these two, but they are playing in hot conditions in Texas. And there's another long ball all the way through to Zetterström.
As I said before, I think because obviously Sweden's last game they got a proper shellacking against the Netherlands, like conceding 5, so you can tell that the way that they've set up this game is they're not going to take any risks. Bergvall just getting himself caught in possession in the centre midfield.
He's not been on long and he's already committed 2 fouls. Doan, as the player, has gone down on this occasion in central midfield. Bergvall a little bit too keen and catching Doan late.
Yeah, just over enthusiasm there from Bergvall. Doan did really well, but he knew it was coming, so he rode the challenge. He just caught a little step on his right foot from Bergvall.
So a Japan free kick just inside the Sweden half. 90 seconds of the first 45 minutes remaining, plus any additional time, as Nakamura takes on Bernardsson again, and he's got inside on the left foot, crosses into the back post. It's brought down by Sugawara, but he then lost sight of the ball as it popped up in the air, and he found himself pirouetting to try and find it.
Yeah, good play from Nakamura down Japan's left hand side, just making sure that he goes on the outside of Bernardsson, then he cuts back in with his right foot, and Japan have got 5 players in and around the 6-yard box, but all 5 of them actually made the run. 2 to the near post, there's 3 to the far post, but one of the 5 just stepped out. If one of the 5 just steps out 3 or 4 yards centrally, then they get a chance of attacking.
This is good stuff from Japan, midway inside the Sweden half, with Ritsu Doan out to the left edge of the penalty area, guided down towards the byline, cut back but blocked straight away by Gustav Lagerbielke. Japan then forced to recreate from midfield. Tanaka under pressure from Gyökeres, still inside Sweden territory. Ball played infield down the left, that's the far side as we look. Yellow shirts coming back to defend, but there are spaces opening up. Doan's laid it off, the shot's come in, and it's been palmed wide by Jakob Zetterström. Best chance of the game coming just before the half-time interval, and it was Keito Nakamura with the right foot shot, which was heading towards the far corner. That's a good save by Zetterström.
It's a brilliant save from Zetterström. Full stretch of his left palm, low down to his left-hand side. To be fair, Nakamura does really well, uses Lindelof as a screen, just bends it around him. Fantastic save for Zetterström. Corner for Japan over the right-hand side.
Sent in low on the left foot of Doan, headed away by Sweden. We're into added time at the end of the first half, 5 minutes of it. Japan 0, Sweden 0. Sweden desperately trying to get the ball away from their half of the field. Two players collide, and the referee has decided to award a free kick in Sweden's favour.
Yeah, just a really poor corner from Japan's point of view. Doan just trying to ease it in with his left foot, hits the player at the near post. So that was the best opportunity of the half, coming in the 45th minute. Good link-up play from Maeda into Nakamura. So Lindelof just made sure again he did the long barrier, didn't commit himself. Nakamura bent it round him, but really good save from Derby County Zetterström low down to his left-hand side in Sweden's goal.
Well, now the other end of the field, away to the left, but Sweden have been caught in an offside position. Just 3 attempts on goal in the first half, and the 2 we mentioned prior to that one, not really that noteworthy. So this one stands out. Japan having the best chance to break the deadlock. The Swedes are dancing around in the stands. To be honest, this scoreline, given that Netherlands are already leading, would actually be fine for these two. Japan would finish second, Sweden would finish third, which means Japan would play Brazil. Interestingly, the biggest concentration of Japanese people is in Brazil, outside of Japan, is in Brazil. So they'll have a lot of support. It'll be interesting, that one.
Be a few half and half scarves then, wouldn't there, for South outside the stadium?
Ball has gone long, and it's going to be Japan's. And I think they just want to see this half out now in the heat. Get to the break. What will Graham Potter in his dark suit, tie and buttoned up shirt be thinking?
Well, he had a massive blow of the cheeks there, didn't he? As if to say, I can't wait for this to get in at half time. As I say, Sweden has just been very, very cautious. They're just basically, he set his team out not to get beat, and be nice and solid without taking any risk going forward. Now, whether that'll change in the second half, you said there, because at this moment,
here comes Gyökeres just outside the area. His shot is deflected, well wide for a Sweden corner.
Yeah, probably the last opportunity of this first half for either team to get a goal. Comes to Gyökeres just on the right edge of the D. To be fair to Taniguchi, just made sure that he went and closed the ball down, got the block on. Corner for Sweden on their left-hand side.
In swinging right footer away to our left. It's going to be taken by Yasin Ayari. And he hits it high towards the back post. It's punched away by both fists of Zian Suzuki out to Anthony Elanga on the far side. Keeps it in play. We're about 35 yards from goal. Bernhardsson opts to go back to Gudmundsson. Sweden waiting for an opening. Elanga now hugging the touchline. Down the line it goes to Bergvall. Played in field now. Stroud lifts it high to the edge of the penalty area. Not sure who the target is. Not the easiest ball to bring down. And it means that Doan can just thump it left-footed into the Sweden half, all the way back to Zetterström. We've got less than a minute of added time. It's still 0-0.
Well, you just see there, Sweden had the ball on their right-hand side. And Gudmundsson was screaming at Bernhardsson just to put the ball into the box. Bernhardsson, because he's left-footed, he comes in onto his left foot. That enables Japan just to get their back five a little bit further outside the 18-yard box. Then Sweden end up going back to the halfway line.
They're attacking on the right edge of the area with Victor Gyökeres. In it goes. Ayari couldn't get there. It'll be Stroud who picks it up on the left-hand angle of the box, goes towards the byline, cuts it in. Too close to Suzuki.
Yeah, but at least Stroud, to be fair, is showing a little bit of willingness to go down that left-hand side, gone on the outside of Sugawara. But again, he just can't quite get his left foot around it to bring it to the edge of the 18-yard box. The referee blows for half-time.
Right on cue. After 5 minutes of additional time, it's been a fairly uneventful first half between these two teams, evenly matched. The best opportunity coming right at the end of the first half when Kato Nakamura had a shot from inside the area which was well pushed wide by Jakob Zetterström in the Sweden goal. As it stands, these two are going through to the round of 32, even though at half-time it's Japan 0, Sweden 0. Thank you, Ollie. It doesn't appear that either coach Hajime Moriyasu or Graham Potter is going to make a change at the start of the second half. They were both forced into changes towards the end of the first half, or at least Sweden were. We still don't know the reason why the captain of Japan, Ko Itakura, went off. He didn't appear to be injured. But they're gathering now inside their halves. There's a huddle between the Japan players. It's a quick one. The Sweden players are all ready for the resumption of this game, and it'll be Japan who'll get the second half underway after we have our customary countdown.
Do you mind actually not butting in? Can you let the countdown guru actually
You like the countdown?
No, I don't actually. But it's very American, and that's where we are. It's their culture, so we have to embrace it.
So the second half gets underway. Japan in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks, attacking the goal away to the left, and Sweden in yellow shirts, blue shorts and yellow socks, trying to score away to our right. It's Japan who have it now on the halfway line.
Or trying to have a shot away to our right.
Yes, that's probably a good way of putting it after the first half that we saw. Just one notable strike on goal.
Now for the neutrals, obviously, which we are, Mike, then I wanted one of the teams to be Japan, because then it means Sweden would then have to come out and then they'd have to take chances and risks in trying to attack the game.
They would still be in with a shout, so to speak, if they lost the game with Sweden, but like Scotland, they'll be sweating on what happens elsewhere. So that is probably, as you say, why Graham Potter is approaching the game the way he is, to make sure that they get the point rather than put themselves in a position where they could be heading home.
Well, as you said earlier, they stuck the place out, didn't they, in actually their qualifying group, didn't win a game, and then got through because of their good performance in the Nations League, which obviously that was invented for, so that the countries play teams at the same level all around them, and obviously end up beating Ukraine and Poland. So if you'd have said to the Swedish fans and Graham Potter when he took over, because they were awful under John Dahl Tomasson, but you'd be in the World Cup going into the last game, needing a draw to get yourself in the last 32, where they've come from, you'd snap your hands off.
Slight moment of concern for Japan at the back as Yasun Ayari was coming in to the D to try and connect with a ball that was laid off to him. And it's a throw-in on this near side of the field. Hot, sticky conditions in Dallas, 32 degrees centigrade, whereas it's raining now in the game between Tunisia and Netherlands. Netherlands leading 2-0, 2 early goals. They top the group. Looks like they're going to top the group unless Japan can get themselves on the score sheet. They basically have to better the Netherlands result to finish top of the group, and the winner of the group will play Morocco as it stands. It's going to be a ball down this near side. A throw into Japan, which will be taken by Nakamura, who's had the best chance of the game, into the feet of Maeda. Back to Nakamura, left edge of the penalty area. Nicely worked by Japan, although Tanaka's on the stretch, and in the end, from the D, he finds himself in some space, but snatches at the shot, and it's over.
Yeah, you said there, there's too much of a hurry there, Tanaka, to get his shot away. It was a really good play from Japan down there, left-hand side, just a throwing down the line from Nakamura into Maeda. Maeda did really well, just turned out, back to Nakamura, and he squares it into Kamada, and then he then rolls it into Tanaka, but just too hurried with his shot.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Sweden attacking through Victor Gyökeres, and it's gone out of play for a Sweden corner on the far side. Just in terms of Tanaka, he scored at the World Cup in 2022. He got that winner against Spain in the group stage, a memorable winning goal. of course, plays his football for Leeds United. And a really good finish to the Premier League season. Ayari to take the corner for Sweden from the far side. In swing, in fact, he's gone short to Elanga, then swings it into the far post. Bergvall can't get there, but it's going to fall to Elliot Stroud. Out to the right edge of the area. Bergvall's cross is guided wide off the slide from Hiroki Ito. It's another Sweden corner.
Yeah, just trying to mix it up on that left-hand side. Ayari just rolling it out to Goodmanson. See Sweden again now, corner from their right-hand side. They've got 5 players in and around Suzuki in Japan's goal.
They've gone near post, and it's been headed out by one of their own players. In the end, it's Gustav Lagerbielke who got the touch, so the danger is averted from a Japanese point of view, and it's a goal kick to Japan. We've played almost 5 minutes of the second half on Talk Sport, where it remains Japan 0, Sweden 0.
I think the idea was just to bend it in left-footed to Alexander Isak, who just made a little run, see if he could get the flick on. In the end, it went over. He said Lagerbielke, again, he should be flicking it on. He's tried to head it on goal, just goes into the side netting, goes out for a goal kick, and then Suzuki in goal for Japan, just pings it straight into Kamada, right through the centre of the pitch. And that gets Japan into Sweden's half.
Which is where they are right now. Play to the left, Nakamura down the line for Maeda. Nice little feint to try and catch out Lagerbielke. He was in an offside position though. The flag has gone up, so it's a free kick to Sweden on this near side, the right back position. Earlier on this evening, Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 2. Ivory Coast finished second in Group E. Curaçao out of the World Cup. But the big story, Ecuador 2, Germany 1. They came from behind to win. A famous victory for Ecuador. The scenes afterwards were quite extraordinary. Their coach, in Pat Cash style, jumped into the crowd to greet his family. They were ecstatic, and they are in the World Cup round of 32, are Ecuador, and they might well be playing England.
Yeah, that's what obviously we love about this World Cup, you know, with the sort of smaller nations. Ecuador getting that brilliant win against Germany after going 1-0 down in the first sort of 2 minutes. You know, nobody saw that coming. So the Ecuadorian coach just making sure that he found his family, didn't he, in the stadium.
I mentioned Pat Cash because of course Wimbledon is on the way next week. Here's Isak for Sweden, tries to prod it through to Ayari, it doesn't get there, and now Japan can counter away to the left. They have possession on this near side. Are they losing the momentum of it though? Played by Kamada to Nakamura to the edge of the penalty area, square just outside the D, shot comes in, it's deflected into Nakamura's path, he's kept it in at the byline, he's waiting for some space. Lagerbielke is keeping him company. Kamada, right-footed to the back post, in it comes, and there seems to be some confusion, but Japan again get it back because Sweden cannot clear. Maeda, right-footed into the area, and the volley is brilliantly saved by Zetterström. But surely the Japan player is offside. He is offside. There was acres of space, but I tell you what, that was a decent save, even though he was offside.
Yeah, it was a good line actually held by Sweden's back 5, made sure they're pushing up. Kamada just find himself unmarked at the far post, right-footed volley, brilliant save from Zetterström, just made sure he stayed nice and big, but Japan just trying to put Sweden under a little bit of pressure, and I think that's maybe the way the pattern of the game's going to go, Mike, because obviously Sweden are the ones that desperately need the point to make sure, you know, that they're one of the best placed, third place teams in the group. For that point would give them 4 points and they'd be top of that third place table. So they might start getting a little bit nervy as the game goes on, and maybe just sit that little bit deeper and invite Japan onto them.
Japan have it. Down the far side, they're right. Maeda making a run down the channel. He's not been picked out, but he's won it off Lindelof. Here come Japan towards the left edge of the area now. Nakamura, he's got a man around the outside who he cannot find. That's really good defensive work by Bernardsson, because Japan got into a really good position. They looked like they had a bit of an overload down the left side, but they couldn't exploit it. I can tell you there's been another goal in Kansas City. It's now Tunisia 1, Netherlands 2. Masturi has got the goal early in the second half of that game. It's not over yet. Long ball forward by Japan, pumped away by the right fist of Jakob Zetterström. But again, Sweden struggling to clear their lines properly. A couple of players fall to the floor and the ball dribbles out for a throw.
At the moment, when Sweden are in possession, the ball's like a hot potato, where the Swedish players can't wait actually to get rid of the ball, and there's no composure. Even Bergvall there, all he's got to do is roll it into Gyökeres, and he just overhit it, rushed it too much, and that enabled Taniguchi just to get his little tackle in.
Sweden have it themselves inside the Japan half now. Bernardsson clips it forward down the right side. Gyökeres tries to use his strength but loses out, and Japan can counter, and they work it out to the far side of the field with Sugawara.
Gyökeres got to do a little bit better there when it first comes into him initially. It's good chest control. Taniguchi obviously just on as a substitute. He's taken Itakura, the Japanese captain's place, and he's made sure that he's taken responsibility to go man for man with Gyökeres.
Japan working their way down the far side. They're right now in field, laid off. Maeda, lovely ball in, right foot shot, goal Japan. Daisen Maeda with the finish. It was Doan's ball through. It was brilliantly crafted by Japan, and they go in front in Dallas. Japan 1, Sweden 0. We've had 10 minutes of the second half.
We'd have to say that the goal was coming. Sweden dropping a little bit deeper. To be fair, it's brilliantly crafted from Japan, with Doan just picking the ball up in the inside right position. It's looking for Maeda. Makes a great run from the left-hand side, diagonally into the 18-yard box, which is whether he can be picked out, exactly what Doan does. And then Maeda is ready to take the right first touch, gets the ball out of his feet with his left foot and with his right foot, and Zetterström comes out, just slides it underneath him. Brilliantly crafted goal from Japan. The best bit of quality we've seen from both teams on the ball, and you have to say that Japan deservedly go 1-0 up here against Sweden.
It's a 6th international goal for Celtic's Daisen Maeda, and it's gone down well with the Samurai Blue that occupy the Dallas Stadium. It's a really good goal from Japan. We haven't had much quality in this game. We've had very few opportunities, but we were treated to a decent finish there.
You know what it was? It was just a brilliantly crafted goal, and it was all about Doan's pass, because obviously he's seen the run of Maeda, and it's all about the pace of the pass, where he just pings it inside Bernardsson, who just sort of lost his man. No communication with him and Lagerbielke.
Sweden looking to equalise early on here. Ayari twisting and turning on the edge of the area, but getting the ball stuck under his feet. Japan can get it away to the halfway line. Sweden have to rebuild. As it stands, both Netherlands and Japan have 7 points. They also have the same goal difference.
And they drew in the first game.
So
come on, can you work this one out? Or?
Oh, not now. Bergvall. Tell you what, let's watch the football and worry about that at the end. In it comes from Elanga to the back post, headed away by Sugawara. There's bound to be some more changes. It's pouring with rain in Kansas City. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 2. Looked like it was going to be a complete coast for Netherlands. They scored both their goals inside the first 7 minutes, but they're being pegged back a little bit now. Bergvall for Sweden, on as a substitute, will take the throw in from the far side. Launches it into the Japan penalty area. Headed away by Tanaka. only as far as Lager Bielka, who's asked a lot of Anthony Elanga to keep it in. I think Sweden will get the throw in. It's off Maeda, the Japan goal scorer. Thrown into Lager Bielka, 20 yards inside the Japan half. He's fairly central as he works it to the left to Bergvall, and it's further out to the far side. Driven into the box, Isak, nice first touch to bring it down. Lager Bielka to the right-hand angle of the penalty area. Elanga on his left foot, curls it to the far side of the box. First touch is heavy, Japan clear.
There's a really, really poor touch from Strode on that left-hand side. Elanga just trying to ease it into him. Just tries to control it with the outside of his left foot. Just goes about 3 yards away from him. That allowed Japan just to get a little interception in and push them further back, and ends up going all the way back to Zetterstrom.
He's cleared long into the Japan half. We've had almost an hour's play in Dallas. Japan have broken the deadlock courtesy of Daisen Maeda. In the meantime, Victor Gyökeres is screaming at the referee, Ivan Barton, about a foul, basically a tug of war almost, with Japan's Hiroki Ito. He got the free kick.
I'm not a lip reader, but I can sort of gather that Gyökeres said to Ivan Barton, referee, every something time that's happening to me, every time it comes into me, because the three Japanese centre-halves will make sure they engage Victor Gyökeres. You can tell that he's just basically losing his head.
Ayari with the free kick, right-footed towards the edge of the penalty area, headed away. Only as far as Ayari again, who launched it back into the penalty area. It's fallen out to the far side of the field to Lucas Bergvall. There's been another goal in Kansas City. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Ayari from inside his own half. He's forced to go all the way back to Zetterstrom. I can tell you, Netherlands have restored their 2-goal advantage. It's Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3 now in Kansas City.
We can relax now. We haven't got to work it out about the head-to-heads, who goes through, who's top of the table. So obviously Netherlands are top of the table now on goal difference.
Van Hecker has got the goal, a glancing header which couldn't be kept out by Anis Ben Slimani. So Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3, they're top of the group now. Clearly by the advantage of goal difference, but it could all change in the next half an hour or so, we know that. And Sweden need to get level, Perry.
Well, exactly, we said for the neutral, you know, that we needed Japan to score. Hopefully will make Sweden sort of release the shackles and come out of their shell a little bit, take a few more risks.
They're coming forward now, down centre field. Gyökeres to the right edge of the area, Elanga onto his left foot, sends in a cross! When I say a cross, it's a shot to the far post, which eludes the right hand of Suzuki, and Sweden were not behind for long. He scored the consolation goal against the Netherlands when they were beaten heavily in their last game. This one has drawn Sweden level. Anthony Elanga with it. Japan won, Sweden won.
Well, Sweden needed a bit of inspiration. Victor Gyökeres picks the ball up centre, he holds it up, just speeds it out to Elanga on that right hand side. He comes in from the corner of the 18-yard box with his left foot. He puts a brilliant left-footed curler, gives Suzuki in the Japanese goal absolutely no chance whatsoever to his right hand side. That's the only bit of quality we've seen from Sweden in this game that gets them back into it at 1-1 against Japan.
Terrific finish, which has gone down well with the Sweden bench. Graham Potter coming off his seat, and the Sweden fans bouncing in the stands, because that point puts them in the round of 32 as it stands.
Well, that's Elanga's 8th goal for his country, and he's not scored a better one or a more important one, Mike, because as you said there, now that gets them back into it in one of the best third place positions, goes back to the top of that table. And And we have to say, right, that's why we love football, because from Sweden's point of view, right, no one saw that coming. There'd been no quality from Sweden at all in the 62nd minute. By the way, that's not an assist from Gyökeres. I know he held the ball up really well, and he puts it out to Langer, who's on the right wing. He has to come in from the right wing, get to the edge of the 18-yard box and curl it past Suzuki low down to his right hand side.
That was a horror. I mean, my initial thought that he was crossing it to the back post. He was in such an odd position with a lot of players in the way, but it was so well struck.
100% it was a shot. I think what we expect him to is ease it in with his left foot from that position to the far post, and he decides he's going to take responsibility and take the shot on. So it was brilliant technique, brilliantly crafted, and a huge goal from Sweden's point of view.
And it's lifted them. The tails are up and they're coming forward again. Although Bernhardsson is brought down by Maeda, who scored the Japan goal. So we're back where we were. 7 points to Netherlands in first place, Japan second with 5, Sweden with 4. All 3 will go through to the round of 32 if it stays like this.
Now it'll be interesting. We say Sweden needed some inspiration. They needed someone to step up, take responsibility. You think it's going to be Gyökeres or Isak. In the end, it's that man Anthony Elanga. Scores an absolute worldie. We saw
the head again. Isak with a shot, and it needed Suzuki to save it, and he gets to his feet and immediately opens an inquiry as to why Alexander Isak was given so much time and space on the edge of the Japan penalty area.
Well, it's just Japan giving the ball away very loosely. Came to Isak just on the edge of the 18-yard box, just slightly to the left-hand side, gets it onto his right foot, tries to bend it low down. Suzuki's left-hand side in the goal for Japan, corner for Sweden on their right-hand side. Taken
short to Elanga, back to Stroud. Maeda takes no chances and forces it out for a throw-in by the corner flag. We've got 25 minutes plus stoppage time. We've got a hydration break to come, so there'll be a fair bit of that plus the substitutions. It's finely poised at the moment. Sweden aren't going to sit back though. They look like they're going out to get themselves in front as it goes into the area. Isak lays it off onto the right foot. There's not much space to shoot. Ayari was trying to find room. In the end, it's worked out to the far side. Gyökeres beaten to it. Good Japanese defending there. I think it is Tanaka. He's tenacious, isn't he? He's just there all the time.
He's a tenacious terrier-like Tanaka defensively for Japan. So he's very good on the ball. Played a big part in Leeds' survival in the Premier League. Now we see that Japan are going to make a couple of substitutes.
They are. And the first player to leave the field is Ayase Ueda, who I haven't mentioned too much in this game. He's replaced by Koki Ogawa. Both those players play their football in the Netherlands. The other player coming off is Ritsu Doan. And his replacement is Junya Ito, dropped out of the starting 11 from the last game. Ito, vastly experienced, played all 4 games at the World Cup in 2022. He scored the only goal in the 1-0 win over Scotland back in March in the friendly. So changes there. I don't think Doan was particularly happy with coming off. He's throwing his arms up in the air and trying to see if anyone will actually listen to him.
Yeah, bit of a hissy fit, bit of a strop, but to be fair, he's left his mark on the game. Brilliant ball into Maeda to create Japan's goal to go 1-0 up. And then their impactors that are coming on, Ogawa will just go up front for Ueda, like for like, and Junya Ito as well, where Doan was playing in one of the 2 positions with Maeda behind Ueda. He'll just fit in again in one of the 10 positions.
There were just 6 minutes between the 2 goals. Maeda's opener, Elanga's equaliser. Here comes the hydration break.
with the boos.
Midway point of the second half. It's 1-1 here. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3 in Kansas City, meaning that Netherlands top the group, Japan a second, Sweden a third. All three will go through to the round of 32, and as it stands, the Netherlands would play Morocco, Japan would play Brazil, and Sweden, well, they get the short straw. They're playing France.
Well, that's what happens. Say if you come third place, you're going to play like the top team from the other group. Exactly what happened to Sweden. See, just Graham Potter with his arm around Elanga, basically just giving a massive thank you, because the two goals that we've seen, the first half was a lot of quality, was there, Mike, to be fair. You know, both teams are a little bit cagey. And then the second half, Japan, brilliantly crafted goal. Doan, fantastic ball inside Bernardson from Maeda coming in from that left-hand side. And that was all about Maeda's first touch. First touch out of his feet with his left foot. And then as Zetterstrom come out, he just slid it underneath him. Brilliantly crafted and finished goal. And I have to say, you thought that Japan would probably step up a gear, but Sweden was sort of scratching around. Gyökeres was getting a bit frustrated, wasn't he? Had a little go at the referee for not giving enough fouls. Then the ball comes into him, and that's what Gyökeres does. He actually holds the ball up really well, and then he feeds it out to Langa on the right hand side, and Langa cuts in. Japan don't close him down. He gets it with his left foot, and it's brilliant technique with his left foot, where he starts the ball from about 3 or 4 yards outside Suzuki's far right hand post, just curls all the way round, gives Suzuki absolutely no chance whatsoever. Actually, it's the inside netting as it goes in. So his 8th goal for his country, by far probably his best and his most important.
Graham Potter is talking to his players, as is Hajime Moriyasu, the two head coaches. Their assistant coaches have also been doing their job as well. In particular, Sebastian Larsson, former Sweden international, he's part of Graham Potter's coaching staff. He was down there talking to Anthony Elanga during the hydration break, which is just about to end. So we're into the final quarter of this game. The final 20-25 minutes or so of the group stage in Group F. This result suits both teams. Japan won, Sweden won, everybody's happy.
Well, out of both sets of fans, you'd say that the Swedish fans are the happiest, because they look like, you know, they were going to be in a bit of jeopardy, a little bit of peril, their place in the top 8 teams coming third in their group. But now obviously with Elanga's welding, it's got them back to top of that table.
Of course, that does affect Scotland as well. They are very precariously placed just above the line. They're in 8th place in that table, but underneath them you've got Cape Verde for a start. You don't know what's going to happen with them. They've got another game to come. They've got Saudi Arabia, Belgium against New Zealand in the early hours of tomorrow morning UK time. That one's going to be interesting. Belgium get a point, they'll go above Scotland, and Scotland will drop out. It's highly unlikely, if you look at it on paper, that Scotland are going to make it.
No, exactly. I'd love Scotland to get through, because it gives us a lot more interest, going to the last 32. Their fans have been absolutely fantastic. Obviously took over Boston, and acquitted themselves and behaved themselves impeccably. And it will be a lesser competition without Scotland in there. But unfortunately, because of their performances, and I think obviously firstly Steve Clarke getting his team selections wrong, especially with John McGinn, who has played wide on the left, he's played wide on the right, and his best position, he's Scotland's best player, his best position is centrally, where he plays in that box midfield for Aston Villa. So I'm not sure you might play your best player in his best position. Football can be quite simple sometimes.
There is, of course, another element to this third place ranking.
Here we go.
In that Croatia, Algeria and Paraguay have still got a game to play. If they lost heavily, they would drop below Scotland in the ranking. So there's a lot of permutations that are going to take place over the next 48 hours or so. And Scotland might find out quite late in the day. Tartan Army, where are they gone? Are they still in Miami?
Do you know what? I think they'll be all right. Just a little.
They'll probably just hang around anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they'll take one for the team. You can't see them sort of just looking into their pints, staring into the abyss and thinking, oh, this is going to be a really horrible 4 or 5 days.
Graham Potter's about to make a change. He's at the moment discussing how he wants things to work out with Daniel Svensson, of course, a marauding left back who likes to get forward. Certainly fresh legs will put pressure on that Japanese right side if that's where he plays. He's about to come on as Victor Lindelof, right-footed, goes down centre field. Sweden attacking the goal away to the right in the second half. Tanaka for Japan. There's then a body check by Bernardsson. Kamada inside the Japan half.
That was actually Tanaka, the Japanese captain. He put his teammate Kamada in all sorts of trouble there because he knew he'd overhit it. Kamada actually let the ball roll across his body. Bernardsson then comes in and it's a coming together. But you see Tanaka there actually put his hand up to Kamada saying, sorry about that, it was my sloppy pass that got you in that danger.
73.5 minutes have been played in Dallas. Japan 1, Sweden 1. It's still Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. In the other game in Group F, Netherlands looking like they're going to top the group. There's also some movement on the Japan bench as well. Yuto Nakatomo might be coming on in a moment. I say vastly experienced. He's going to turn 40 in September.
145 caps.
Second most capped player in Japan's history. But in the meantime, Sweden's change is actually going to be Bernardsson coming off to be replaced by Ken Sema. Actually by Daniel Svensson. Sema is going to come on as well. Stroud is the other player coming off. So you'd assume that Daniel Svensson will play on the left. Stroud is making his way around the pitch, so a double substitution made by Graham Potter. Japan are also making the changes, 2 of those as well. Off goes Nakamura to be replaced by Nagatomo, and Watanabe. Tsuyoshi Watanabe is also going to come on, and he's replacing Ayumu Seiko. So Nagatomo makes his 146th appearance. I mentioned second most capped player in Japan's history. He's now played at 5 World Cups. His debut for Japan, Perry, May 2008, 18 years ago. He's 40 in September. And he's playing a World Cup in 32 degrees centigrade in Dallas. That's impressive.
Very impressive. He's made sure, obviously, he's looked after himself. Made sure that, he's trained properly. Made sure that he's had the right fuel going into his body and into his system. Puts himself in that chance of being Japan's second most capped player.
The ball is with Jakob Zetterström. There might be a slight problem with Gabriel Gudmundsson, just having a chat with Victor Lindelof at the moment. He looks like he's gingerly walking around on the far side of the field as Zetterström puts it long down centre field towards Gyökeres, brilliantly brought down on the chest, and then he's fouled by the substitute Shogo Taniguchi, who will go into the referee's notebook. That's the first yellow card that Japan have received at this World Cup.
Yeah, Taniguchi just making sure that he leaves one on Victor Gyökeres as the ball comes into him. Gyökeres done brilliantly just to hold it up, and Taniguchi then just comes in from behind him, pretends that he's just trying to hook the ball away from him. He doesn't, and just then leaves his stud on the top of his feet. So quite rightly, Ivan Barton, the referee, gives Taniguchi the yellow card.
Sweden have a free kick. They had a free kick in exactly the same position about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it's going to be Ayari who'll take it. They're in line with the edge of the area. Japan holding their line. Sweden trying to stay on side. In it goes, headed out by the Japanese head, collected on the far side by Bergvall, moves infield 25 yards out. Now he's in the centre outside the D. He's got 4 Japanese players for company. Still manages to find a teammate whose shot is deflected wide for a Sweden corner. 13 minutes left, 1-1. You're listening to Talk Sport, bringing you every commentary from the FIFA World Cup 2026. Coming up at 3 o'clock UK time, Paraguay, Australia on Talk Sport with Cameron Pope and Alvin Martin. And on Talk Sport 2, Ian Danta and Luke Chambers will bring you Turkey against the USA, who've already qualified as group winners. Corner for Sweden. Again, they've bunched up that 6-yard area.
Yep, they've got 4 players in and around Suzuki. In the Japanese goal, Sayari's got to make sure he bends it in and just make sure he misses the first man to make Suzuki make a decision.
Good corner. Suzuki didn't get there. It's going to fall to Sema on the edge of the area. Attempts the volley. It's blocked at close range. Sweden work it out to the far side, their left. Oh, nicely through the legs of his Japanese player. Squared in by Svensson, but it didn't have enough purchase on it to get to where it needed to get to.
Yeah, he said there, Ayari delivering the corner, ball comes back out to him, gets a nice little nutmeg, but again, unfortunately, the ball breaks down just on the edge of the 18-yard box.
By the way, there are other games later in the day. 8 o'clock this evening. Group I will be the focus of attention. Norway, France. That should be a fascinating game. Senegal, Iraq. TalkSport and TalkSport 2 respectively. Japan have it. It's opening up now in the final 11 minutes of the game. That's a poor pass, though. It's a tired pass from midfield by Tanaka. It's gone straight out of play in front of the Japan bench. It's going to be a Sweden throw-in. Are we looking at a 1-1 draw now? Has it sort of lost its oomph?
Well, I'm just looking from Sweden's point of view. Obviously, they're not going to take any chances to put in Sema on the left wing back position, Spencer over on the right wing back, just give them obviously fresh legs in those wide areas.
Gyökeres down the line for the Sweden goal scorer, Elanga. Did he keep it in? I think he's going to get a free kick. He's been fouled right by the corner flag. A little bit of cramp has kicked in as well. So late in this match. The challenge came in from Hiroki Ito.
It's an unnecessary foul, right, because obviously Elanga is just going down that right-hand touchline. He's heading for the corner flag, basically going nowhere. Bit of desperation there from Ito. Just gives a free kick away, basically like another corner for Sweden on their right-hand side, which they will take. Right-footed out swinging.
It's about 5 yards short of the corner flag, out wide on the right. In it comes from Ayari, headed by Lagerbielke. Was it Lagerbielke who had that header early in the half that was way wide the other side?
Yeah, I just think there, as Ayari just eases the ball with his right foot, Lagerbielke loses mark on the far post. Should just be heading it back across goal, head it back into the bodies around the 6-yard box. There's not enough pace on the ball for Lagerbielke to score from 10 yards out.
Suzuki has it inside his 6-yard area, away to our right. 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining, with it all square at 1-1. Ball pops up in the air as Japan tried to clear it. Sweden doing a good job of defending from the front. Gyökeres in there. He's worked really hard tonight, hasn't he, Victor Gyökeres?
Yeah, he's been feeding on scraps, to be fair. So the ball's gone long, gone into him, he's held it up. You know, he's battled, obviously got his assist for Langa's goal where he held it up really well in the inside left position. And that's what you get from Victor Gyökeres. He just gives you 100%. Sometimes, you know, it might look a bit scruffy where the ball tops off him, but if he doesn't hold the ball up when it comes into him, Malanga doesn't get the chance to come in off that right hand side and get his wieldy left foot curler.
Japan and their fans heading for the round of 32, and they're heading forward into the Sweden area where it's headed out by Goodmanson. He's struggling, isn't he? They made all their 5 substitutions, Sweden, because he was struggling a few moments ago.
Yeah, just
corner to Japan.
Yeah, as he got the head up, goes out for corner, you see him sort of limp away. didn't put his hand onto his hamstring, so maybe just with a little bit of stiffness.
Right wing corner, driven right in. It's a good delivery. Gyökeres back there on his own line, heading it away. And now Elanga trying to spring the counter-attack with the help of Isak. But just too many blue-shirted players in the way. And they've worked it in quickly. And on the stretch and on the volley, unable to convert was Koki Ogawa, the substitute. Really quickly moved out to that far side. Great cross, just too far ahead of Ogawa.
Yeah, just Elanga getting himself caught in possession, just giving the ball away far too cheaply. Kamada just whips it in with his right foot. Ogawa sent the 6-yard box. It's a brilliant ball from Kamada, just putting that in that corridor of uncertainty. Unfortunately, Ogawa can't quite get his Inspector Gadget left foot extended, just comes off the toe and goes over Zetterström's crossbar.
So Japan won, Sweden won, 83 minutes played. We've got a long throw in from Lucas Bergvall in line with the edge of the Japan penalty area from the far side. In it comes, headed up to the edge of the box, brought down by a Sweden player, and now Japan looking to counter, but it's going to go out of play for a throw in, which gives us an opportunity to get the team news from one of our 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's Paraguay-Australia, Cameron Pope.
Pretty simple this one, the permutations in Group D. The winner of this game will go through in second, a draw enough for Australia, both on 3 points. There's no Miguel Almiron for Paraguay. The ex-Newcastle winger is suspended. They do start with Brighton's Diego Gomez. For the Socceroos, 6 changes. Watford forward Nestor Irankunda is restored to the lineup. Paraguay-Australia live on TalkSport from 3 a.m.
And on TalkSport 2 from 3 o'clock, Turkey against the USA with Ian Danta and Luke Chambers. We have 6 minutes plus stoppage time. Another yellow card has been issued by the referee. Who's that one gone to? Victor Gyökeres?
Yeah, I think it's Kamada just trying to get the ball across the halfway line, just cuts across Gyökeres. Gyökeres brings him down. The Japanese manager, Hajime Moriyasu, raised that imaginary yellow card, so maybe he should be booked as well.
Japan attacking down the far side, away to the left. Good work to keep the ball in their possession. From the right then, crossed into the penalty area, hooked up in the air by Lindelof, but there's been an infringement. The referee spotted it. Free kick to Sweden, and a bad case of cramp for Lindelof. He's squirming around on the floor. He's got 2 teammates helping him out. He's screaming away there. It can hurt, can't it?
Yeah, just stretch with his right foot as the ball come across, but it was his left foot, obviously, which is planted into the ground, where he could straight away, you could hear the screams where he's got cramp.
He's still down.
That is one of the worst pains you can ever have. You ever had cramp? It is excruciatingly painful, because you can feel actually the cramp if it's in your hamstring, but it goes right down your calf into your foot, so your foot actually cramps up as well. So you see 2 Sweden players, Gudmundsson and Zetterström, taking a leg each, and basically what they're trying to do, first of all, you actually stretch the foot, you stretch the foot out, then that goes down into your calf, into your hamstring.
I've not had it like that. I get the toe ones that just appear out of nowhere, but it's a bad case of cramp, this, for Victor Lindelof.
Well, the Swedish physios have just given that basically he's got to come off.
So they're going to have to make another. They've got 2 players ready to come on, but the one who's going to come on and replace Victor Lindelof is going to be Hjalmar Ekdal of Burnley. Older brother Albin Ekdal. Started all 5 games at the World Cup in 2018 and retired from football last November. Younger brother Hjalmar is about to replace Victor Lindelof, and also coming on is Benjamin Nygren. He was one of the players that was dropped from the starting 11 from the last game. Of course, very familiar to fans of Celtic. Their top scorer last season with 21 goals. First up though, Lindelof off, and Ekdal on. pretty lengthy stoppage here. We're going to have a fair bit of added time, I think, Perry.
Yeah, just a like for like, with Egdal going in for Lindelof in the centre half position and Goodmanson coming off for Nygren.
Goodmanson has been struggling for quite some time. It's actually Carl Starfelt who's coming on for Victor Lindelof. He plays for Celta, not Celtic. Now there's another injury to a Sweden player. It's going to be Ken Sema, who got a smack to the back of the head. It's been punctuated by a lot of free kicks at the moment, and obviously the substitutions that go along with it. It's Sugawara's challenge on Sema. Didn't look that bad. He jumped, a bit of a stray arm, but they've got a free kick, and we've got another delay in play. The game is almost petering out somewhat after what was quite a good spell around the goals.
Yeah, it actually suits Sweden. They want it to be a little bit disjointed, a little bit bitty, so that Japan can't get into their passing, flowing system.
So a free kick to the left edge of the penalty area, away from the D. Nygren has gone straight in there to help Yasin Ayari. It might even suit Nygren's left foot to curl this in over the top of the Japan defence. Indeed, that's what he does. His first touch is to deliver the free kick. Bergvall collects on the edge of the area. Now to this near side, the Sweden right. Bergvall clips it in. Out comes Suzuki. Doesn't really make a clean punch, but he's helped out by his teammates. Japan under pressure at the moment. Isak works it to the right here. Elanga, that's a really good delivery, headed out by a Japan defender. Bergvall is there to recycle it. Now Elanga from the right again, looking for the free kick. Referee unmoved. Japan are going to come away with it from the left back position. Here's Nagatomo, the 39-year-old, down the line into the Sweden half. We're into the final 30 seconds of the 90 minutes. I think we're going to have a fair bit of added time here. We've had several stoppages in addition to the break, the hydration break, and the substitutions.
Yeah, just getting for Sweden. Starfelt will just go in Lindelof's position in the centre, the three centre halves. Nygren looks like he's going to come onto this sort of right-hand side. He's trying to get himself on the ball. So he wants to be the playmaker. Fresh legs.
7 minutes of added time. We're into the first of those. Looks like we're heading for a draw. Netherlands on the brink of victory against Tunisia, so they're going to top the group, unless Japan can score a couple of goals in the next few minutes. If Sweden were to score, it would take them above Japan in the group.
Well, it's actually Japan have dropped a little bit deeper, and Sweden are dominating possession. So Bergvall's done really well since he's been on for Sweden, give him a bit of energy, so fresh legs in there, always looking for the ball. So Japan just drop it back into that 5-4-1 formation.
Commentary of Paraguay, Australia to come on TalkSport. Turkey, USA on TalkSport 2. 3 o'clock kickoffs. Sweden coming forward. It's floated towards Gyökeres. Too high for the Arsenal striker. Sent away. Picked up again by Bergvall. He's done a really good job of keeping it alive for Sweden when the moves do break down. Down the line by Japan. They can't get out of their own half now. It's all Sweden. If they were to score, they would then take on Brazil in the round of 32 and say, here you go Japan, you take on France.
So is that back to the World Cup final 1958? Brazil-Sweden.
Which
Pelé?
Sweden lost, yes.
17, wasn't it, I think? 2 goals?
Yep. Their best ever finish at a World Cup. Sweden have it inside their own half on the far side with Daniel Svensson. He's gone back to another of the substitutes, Carl Starfelt.
You know, when sometimes it falls for as a manager of Graham Potter, because Hein obviously went off in the first half with his hamstring injury, centre half, middle of the back three for Sweden. That meant Lindelof then had to go in at centre half and Bergvall came on in midfield. Now, in normal time, Graham Potter probably wouldn't make that substitution, but because, you know, he was forced, so then obviously Lindelof then goes back.
Here comes Sweden into the area, and Langa's shot pushed away by Suzuki. It was heading for the far post. This time it was a right foot effort, a snapshot from Elanga. Suzuki alert to it. Sweden come again from the left. Sema taking on Sugawara, and he's going to win the corner kick. Sweden have a corner 2.5 minutes into added time.
I think that was the highest foot over that I've ever seen from Sema there. He's actually done a foot over where he's actually gone to the height of his hip, and he gets Sweden a corner over on their left hand side. A good play from Nygren initially in the edge 18-yard box out to Langa. Langa actually should be putting his foot through it where he's tried to side foot it. Good save from Suzuki down to his right hand side.
Ayari with the in-swinger, low to the near post, flicks on, saved by Suzuki on the line. It's still hanging inside the Japan 6-yard area, but Zion Suzuki has twice kept out Sweden in the last 60 seconds, and that was a really good instinctive save as it was glanced in by Alexander Isak.
Yeah, really good delivery again from Ayari from that left-hand side, in swing with his right foot. Isak gets away from his mark at the near post, just redirects the head up. Really good save from Suzuki, high to his right-hand side, just manages to palm it out. So there, Sweden have been pushing for the winner. Their changes, their impactors have had a massive influence on this game, given that energy.
It's a strong finish from Sweden. I can tell you that it's finished in Kansas City. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. So as it stands, Netherlands top the group. Sweden are going to finish third unless they can get a late winner here in the last 3 minutes. It'll still take them into the round of 32, but they're going to have to get past France to go any further in the competition. Lifted forward down this left side. Japan attacking now. Kept in play, but then lost. Kamada's ball is picked off by Sweden, who then try and release Elanga. Ito goes back to Suzuki. Calmly out to the far side, just outside the Japan penalty area at walking pace. Tsuyoshi Watanabe, in his first World Cup, moves the ball forward. Daishi Kamada out to the far side. Japan seem quite content to just keep possession because they know they're going to finish second if it stays like this.
Yeah, I think both teams will be happy. Just coming up to 5 minutes of added on time, 2 minutes to go. I think Graham Potter and two managers will be delighted with the resilience that his side have shown. They're going 1-0 down in the 56th minute from a really good finish from Maeda. You know, put their position in a lot more jeopardy. You know, trying to be one of the best third-placed teams in the group, and then finding that spirit and dragging themselves back into the game. Elanga giving that bit of inspiration, get himself back to 1-1. So he'll be delighted with the stoicism Graham Potter that his team has shown.
Ball is played away, and now it's Japan inside the Sweden half on the far side of the field. Could they snatch a late winner? Played towards the edge of the area, laid off. Nice football here from Japan to the left-hand angle. Down the line it goes. Maeda forced back to Ito. Just over a minute left of added time. Japan inside Swedish territory at 1-1.
Yeah, and every Swedish outfield player back behind the ball.
Forward again, Kamada, 30 yards out, moves it to the left to find Nagatomo with the headband on, left-footed, gets the ball into the box, swept away by Bergvall, high towards the halfway line, brought down immediately by Ito. Kamada on the left wing, forward into the area. dealt with by Sweden. It's going to be a Sweden throw-in. 30 seconds left. No one's in a great hurry to get on with it.
No, Starkveld did really well, to be fair, when the ball just dinked into Maeda. At first it looked like he might have clattered into the back and just made sure he come to the left hand side, got his header in. Ball goes out for throwing for Sweden on their right hand side. Lagerbielke just throws it back to Zetterström.
Hit forward into the Japan half, just a few seconds left now of added time. Kamada collects inside the centre circle, tries to drive it down the middle. Tanaka out wide, there's no more time left. Referee Barton blows his whistle and it will end in a draw between Sweden and Japan, and the Sweden bench are celebrating like they've won the game, and Japan likewise, because the result suits both teams. Japan will finish second behind Netherlands, who beat Tunisia. Sweden, although they finished third, they are the best placed third place team, which means they go through to the round of 32 as well. So as it stands, Netherlands will play Morocco, Japan will play Brazil, Sweden will play France. Perry Groves.
Well, you have to say the second half was far, far better than the first. And you said for the neutral, we needed Japan to score first. Exactly what happened in the 56th minute. Brilliantly crafted goal from Japan's point of view. Doan picked the ball up in the inside right position, just getting his turn on, plays ball inside Bernardsson, the Swedish right wing back. Maeda makes a really good run, gets across him, great first touch with his left foot out of his feet, his right foot just sweeps it past Suzuki, gives him absolutely no chance. Zetterström gives him no chance whatsoever to put Japan 1-0 up. And then you're just thinking, have Sweden got it in him? Have they got the resilience to fight their way back? And you're looking for some inspiration. And Anthony Elanga had been on the periphery of the game. Then in the 62nd minute, Gyökeres holds the ball up as he's been trying to do all game, and then he just feeds it out to the right hand side to Elanga. Doesn't look like there's any danger. Elanga just cuts in, gets the 18-yard box with his left foot. He puts a brilliant curling shot. He starts the ball about 2 yards outside Suzuki's far right hand post, just bends it in, it goes into the inside side netting, put Sweden back in at 1-1. Then to be fair, obviously both managers made a raft of substitutions, but it was actually Sweden who looked like they was going to get on the front foot and go and win the game where they just needed the draw. Isaac had a really good header at the near post from Mayara's corner, good save from Suzuki, and Elanga had another decent shot with his right foot. Suzuki saved it low down to his right hand side. So as you said, both sets of players and fans celebrated because they know that obviously Japan are definitely through to the last 32 and Sweden are top of that third place ranking table, and they look like they're going to qualify, as you said there, Mike, as well. So Graham Potter's done a really good job for Sweden from where they've come from. We said about stinking the place out in the qualifying, getting through from their Nations League playoffs. So he'll be absolutely delighted with the resilience that his side has shown.
Satisfaction all around. It's finished. Japan 1, Sweden 1.